Hello, my name is Leonard Knight, and I made this mountain 22 years here, and I'd love to give you a tour of it. I estimate 100,000 gallons of paint in 22 years, and as we walk up here, I'd like to show you the waterfalls and the God is love on it, okay? I made a hot air balloon 22 years ago and it rotted out here. And anyway, I want to show you what happened in 22 years with a mountain full of adobe and clay and a lot of people loving God. And I'd like to have this little video so I can send it to hospitals and senior citizens home all over the world. And I'll do the best I can to give you a tour of it. As we walk up here, you can see the two waterfalls in the blue, and the ocean in the blue, and the boat in the waves. And right here, about 10 years ago, the farmers gave me 80 bales of hay, and I made a little hogan to live in, a little igloo, and it got on the England Discovery Channel, and I'd love to show you the inside of it. And this is the inside of it. You can look in there if you want to. All made out of broken glass and window putty. And I decorated it. And a lot of people take pictures of it. And it was a lot of fun to make. I'd like to have you take some pictures of it. The next thing I'd like to show you is a museum that I started about 8 or 9 years ago. And as we walk in here, I'd like to have the camera on the Folk Art Society of America. 5 years ago they tried to put it into a national treasure, and last summer it's going through the Senate or the Congress. So I'm excited about people really liking God is Love Mountain a lot. And I'd like to show you in here. I started making a museum in here about 8 or 10 years ago also. And I made that tree here with a wheelbarrow because I found old car tires out in the desert, and I found the limbs out in the desert. And it's a handmade car tire tree. And when the adobe is wet, I take a half a gallon of adobe and throw it, and I hit it with my fist, and I got a flower. And I've been spending a couple years off and on just putting flowers all over the place. And I'd love to show you around here real slowly and take pictures of it. And people are bringing in car windows out in the desert. And everything is donated here. The sticks are out in the desert. Doing good. Right here I'd like to show you a funny looking tree that I'm making with a come along and branches. And if I get 100 more branches around, I'm going to put the bales of hay up here and try to dome this whole thing over as a museum. Probably another 3,000 gallons 3,000 bales of hay, and the sticks are still out in the desert. And I'd like to show you some of the best adobe in the whole world as far as I'm concerned. The whole mountain gives me the clay. And if you were to pick this up, it weighs as much as a stone almost. It's really solid. And the whole mountain gives me this beautiful adobe. And I got a tractor with some in it here. And this is what it's like when you mix it for 3 or 4 days and let it soak, and you put a lot of straw with it, and then it'll turn back into a clay. So the whole mountain is here, and the people are donating paint, and people seem to me loving me a lot. And I've always wanted to put a tour to a senior citizen home. That's my purpose. And I'd love to show you the yellow brick road. Maybe we'll walk up there real quick, okay? This is the very start of the yellow brick road because of the Wizard of Oz. And I'd like to walk the camera up here all the way, okay? You're doing real good on that. And as we walk up, you can see the waterfalls and the blue paint. Yeah, that's a good place for the camera. Stay right there a minute, okay? And as the camera looks down here, you can see the waterfalls. It looks like an ocean, sort of. And there's a boat in the waves. And this is the very top of the mountain. And as you look out here, you can see part of Slab City, where people park during the winter and they have visits and they have campfires. And I'd like to show you one more thing. This is kind of the top view of it, and maybe I'd like to have the camera kind of shining down on the waterfalls. And I'd want to walk over here about 100 feet real slow. And I'd love to have you put the camera on the top of this museum that I'm making. Maybe we'll go around here, okay? There's one more thing I want to show you, because a lot of architects like to take a look at my half museum built. And I'd like to have the camera taking a picture of that over here. maybe, if it's possible, yeah, I'd like to have you film this for a minute or two, maybe, if you want. But this is the inside of that museum that I want to cap over completely. And a lot of people like the idea of all those sticks holding up the bales of hay. I thought that might be interesting to have the camera show that. I'd like to show you the Lord's Prayer that I made in Adobe, and I had a lot of fun making it. And I'd like to have the camera show it up close, kind of. There's the Lord's Prayer, and I made it out of Adobe, and a lot of people like that. And I got John 3:16, for God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomsoever believeth in him shall have everlasting life. I put that up here in Adobe too. And up here in the waterfalls, I've got to work on it more. But I got 9 fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, long-suffering, temperance. And I've got a lot of work to do on this, but the main thing I made this video for is, and I'm going to show you, is within 1 minute over here. And I'll have you put the camera where you think it should show that God is love real good and the sinner's prayer. You think that'd be a good place to end this video? I do. The main purpose of this video is I wanted to put God is love in a beautiful, simple way to everybody. God loves everybody in the whole world. And I just want the whole world to know that God loves everybody, and I love everybody too. That's why I wanted to make this little video. I want people in the senior citizen home, people in the elderly homes that can't never see it. I'd like to send you a video of this and just tell you you can have it and you can play it if you want to. And I feel very privileged that I can do this. And that's all I want to say. But I'm going to try to get a lot of videos of this, and I'm going to try to send one to your hospitals and just let everybody do what they want to do with it. And God bless you all. I really love you all a lot. And I hope you enjoy this video.